Go ahead.
Firstly, tell us a bit about what your thoughts of Bekele's performance tonight was.
Was extraordinary because the planning was to try to run away from the group and build 30 meters and then control the race. He did, but then the athletes came back. It was of course cold and windy today. You can see at the end of the season he's really getting tired. And so but tactically Kenisa is quite smart and good. Then he made a very slow lap, 65 laps a few, and I know then he can recover. And then I know in the last lap he can do very good things, but still it's very very dangerous if you go with I think it was 7-8 athletes going into the last lap. It's of course dangerous that somebody has a very good night and they can beat him. I mean, there's always new and fresh Kenyan athletes, and some days somebody will beat him. So, but of course, normally it's not a big problem. But if you will be beaten in the last Golden League, it will be of course painful. But again, he adjusted very well in his tactics, and his speed is phenomenal. So it was a hectic race and a lot of tension, even for him in the race, but he succeeded again incredibly.
How much harder is what Bekele's doing to win the Golden League than someone like Isenbayeva, who has much less competition, and it's much less unpredictable than running a 5,000 meter?
Yeah, it is more difficult. Also, I think it takes more out of the body. On the other hand, you have to say that Isenbayeva is 20-30 centimeters ahead of the rest of the world. So for her, a little mistake is maybe not so harmful as for Kenisa. Kenisa is in generally better than most of the long distance runner, but I mean there's a lot of good long distance runner, and if he has just a very weak moment somewhere, then he will be beaten.
And from a manager's point of view, what's your take on the hype surrounding Bolt when Bekele arguably has achieved much more than he has?
I mean, what's happening with Bolt is fantastic for our sport. He's above any big sports star in the world now, and it's great for athletics. So that's fantastic. So I think everybody in athletics is proud of Usain Bolt, and what he's achieving is fantastic. And Kenisa can only do the best he can, and he has done everything that you can do. And the main goal is to be the best long distance runner ever, and he is now already with his versatility with the cross country. 9 or 10 times world champion, the world records, the double Olympics, double world championships. There's not more to achieve, only the marathon after 2012. So it's phenomenal, but there's somebody there, an incredible star like Usain Bolt, and I think it's good for our sport, and it's great for sports in general.
To be considered the greatest long distance runner ever, does he have to step up to the marathon, do you think?
Yeah, I think that if you look long distance, then marathon is certainly one of the most important, a very important item in it. So I think basically he is already, but that would be the final icing on the cake.
Yeah. And you said the next year will be a world record year for him. How are you hoping that's going to play out exactly?
Because there's no major championship for him, then it's really easy. Of course, he has to train and prepare very well in the winter. But then basically he can see when he gets in top shape. If you have a champion year, you have to be in top shape in the World Championships. The World Championships 5 and 10. You have to do it in that week. In this case, in Berlin. In a world record, you can choose different places, different climate, and also different timing. If you say, hey, I'm getting in shape, let me choose in 2 weeks or in 1 month to try to attack the world record, then that's a little bit easier planning.
Is he capable of running another 5 and 10K world record, and maybe even the 3?
5 and 10 is possible, and the 3 is very, very tough. The world record from Daniel Coleman 7:20 is a phenomenal record, so we have to see. But he likes challenges, and this will be one of his challenges.
All right, thank you. All the best.